Hello everyone and welcome back to Med Diaries with me, where every patient has a story, every symptom is a clue, and every case is a chance to think like a doctor. Today we have another interesting clinical case waiting to be solved. So grab your thinking caps, pay close attention to every clue, and see if you can reach the diagnosis before the final reveal. Let's meet today's patient, a 22-year-old college student who has been feeling unwell for about a week. Until now, he has been completely healthy with no significant medical history. He lives in a semi-urban area and has come to the OPD because the fever just doesn't seem to be getting better. At this point, we only know that he's been experiencing persistent intermittent fever and a general feeling of being unwell. But fever has many possible causes, so it's still too early to make a diagnosis. Let's gather a detailed history and look for the clues that will guide us towards the answer. He tells us that the fever has been coming and going for the past 6 days. But what's particularly interesting is the pattern. Before each fever spike, he experiences intense chills and rigors. As the temperature comes down, he develops profuse sweating. Along with this, he complains of headache, generalized weakness, and a noticeable loss of appetite. Let's continue the examination and gather more evidences before making a diagnosis. On examination, the patient is febrile with a temperature of 102.8 degrees Fahrenheit and his pulse rate is elevated at 110 beats per minute. He appears tired and mildly pale but remains conscious and oriented. Interestingly, there is no skin rash and the chest examination is unremarkable. Let's look at the investigations for more clues. The initial investigations provide some important clues. Hemoglobin is mildly reduced, platelet count of 95,000 indicating thrombocytopenia. Meanwhile, a peripheral blood smear and rapid diagnostic test have been sent to identify the underlying cause. The confirmatory investigations bring us one step closer to the answer. The rapid diagnostic test comes back positive and the peripheral blood smear reveals the organism under the microscope. But before we reveal the diagnosis, take a moment to put all the clues together. What do you think is causing this patient's illness? We have gathered history, examined the patient, and reviewed the investigations. Now it's your turn. Based on all the clues, what do you think is the most likely diagnosis? Take a moment, make your choice, and don't scroll ahead just yet. If you chose malaria, well done. The diagnosis is supported by the patient's classical pattern of intermittent fever with chills followed by sweating. The investigations further strengthen our suspicion with mild anemia, thrombocytopenia, and a positive rapid diagnostic test, and the presence of plasmodium on the peripheral blood smear. Now that we know the diagnosis, let's get to the treatment. Treatment includes supportive care with hydration, antipyretics, and close monitoring of the patient clinical status. Specific antimalarial therapy such as chloroquine or an artemisinin-based combination therapy is selected according to the infecting species and regional drug resistance pattern. Patients should be advised to complete the prescribed treatment and follow mosquito bite prevention measures. Before we wrap up, let's quickly revise the key points. Always think of malaria in a patient presenting with intermittent fever and chills. Remember that the peripheral blood smear remains the gold standard for the diagnosis. Early recognition and timely treatment with appropriate antimalarial therapy can prevent serious complications. In severe Plasmodium falciparum malaria, watch out for complications like cerebral malaria, severe anemia, algid malaria, black water fever, jaundice, and many more. Now it's time to test your understanding. Here are quick MCQs based on today's case. Take a moment to answer them before checking the solutions. Don't worry if you don't get all of them right. Every case is another opportunity to learn and improve your clinical reasoning. Thank you for joining me on today's clinical journey. If you enjoyed solving this case, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Med Diaries with me. Until next time, keep learning, keep questioning, and keep thinking like a doctor.